Sorry about that. Okay, so today I saw Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm gonna give you my own opinion on the film. And this film has been just hyped up by so many people all over the internet. So many people are saying certain things about the film. It's fantastic, visually amazing, character driven, wonderfully. Holy crap. I am definitely buying this film on DVD when it comes out. And if that doesn't say anything about the film, then I don't know what will. But I will say this, is that Guardians of the Galaxy, in terms of comedy, character, story, music, directing, visuals, binding, all that stuff, this is a contender for one of the best of the year so far. And I'm not joking, it really is. In my opinion, this is the most... In my opinion, this is the film that I had the most fun watching. Like, this and 22 Jump Street were both really hilariously fun to watch. This probably beats it, but I'm not here to compare. But, basically the story goes like this. There's like 4 or 5 of these convicts. 2 of them are together. And, basically they come to a jail cell and they all meet up. And basically they come together, and one of them is the adopted daughter of Thanos. And basically the main character, played by I'm so sorry. Played by Chris Pratt. And he's really funny and really funny and hilarious and very charming. He really has very much of a Han Solo type of persona towards him, where he really seems like Han Solo in a way. He's like a very gritty, very like he's not like a true hero or someone you can truly get behind. He's like, no, he's really funny, a bit of a dick, and really odd, really much of the oddball, but he's extremely funny and very likable. Zoe Saldana as her character, she's amazing. She's so funny and so beautiful and just such a hard act, such a kick-ass character. And she's like a great feminine character. You can really get around, and she's just awesome. I forgot his name. Dave Basta as Drax the Destroyer is really great. I think he really has this real tough guy personality, and very strength oriented. He's all about vengeance. Saying, I'm gonna fight for my wife and daughter who were died because of Ronan the Destroyer. And he's like a very emotionally driven character. And he's also quite literal. Like, he doesn't get like sarcasm or jokes. He's very direct. And you would think that get repetitive, but the film really knows how to walk the fine line that draws there for his character. Bradley Cooper is unbelievably fantastic as Rocket Raccoon. Like, the motion capture on both him and Groot are on par with Gollum. Like, unbelievably amazing. And Caesar, like, unbelievable CG there. And also there's also Lee Pace as Ronan the Destroyer, and he's okay with what he gets. And we also get to see Josh Brolin as Thanos. And as a big fan of Marvel, I really geeked out when I saw him. I'm just like, oh, that's so awesome. I'm like, wonderful. He looks amazing. And the word he talks, he has such a strength and such a tenacity with the way he approaches certain things. And it's just wonderful to watch. And my favorite performance, or in terms of motion capture character, my favorite character's whole movie is definitely Vin Diesel as Groot. I love Vin Diesel. I really do love Vin Diesel a lot. And I just want to say, the way they matches the groanings of the voice, like, like that really suits well with the movie. And he just has this really lovable demeanor to him, and he's very much like a Frankenstein character. Like, he really doesn't know better. He's very dim-witted, and all he ever says, I think he gets like 15, 17 lines in the film, and all he ever says is, I am good. Like that. But he has like different vocalizations and different ways of saying it. So it's like you can tell but just those 3 words of what he really means by that, and I think that's very, very clever and very, very funny and very, very well handled. Um, the I think the effects are very, very good. At times they can be a bit too okay. There's moments where it's like okay, okay, you can kind of tell this all this CG, but there's like some really great moments where you're just like you really feel like you're in this world. Like the effects are very, very good. I'd say the effects are like 75% really, really good, 25% just okay. Like there's some shots of the home city in on Earth, and it looks very generic and very, very done before, and this kind of falls back to the typical sci-fi designs for it. And I'm just like, it's bringing nothing new here. And that's one of the least favorite things about this movie is that it just does something like with the Avengers. It just did something different with the characters and not the environment. I don't really expect to get the environment to be like this, but it's in space, okay? So you need to be a bit more richer. But I'll also say the effects for space at times are monumentally amazing. They are beautiful. They are very, very beautiful to look at, and it really makes you think, and it really gets you entranced with the story and the characters. It really makes you feel like you're involved and you're getting along with these characters. It makes you feel like you're part of the ride. And I would say this film is like a mix between The Fifth Element, Serenity, and Star Wars. All three of those films mixed together, and it feels very much like that. There's this really wicked, hilarious, funny demeanor to the film, and it really takes a real emphasis on that and keeps it going and riding. To me, it kind of reminds me of like Pirates of the Caribbean in space. You're just on this ride with these wonderful characters, and you're just going along with their adventures, and you don't want to leave. They're fantastic characters. At times it seems like there's some side characters who get annoyingly satirized. Like there's this, like Zoe Saldana is like the adopted daughter of Thanos, like I said before, and there's an actual daughter of Thanos. And at one point, it seems like there's like you're just like, what happened to her character? It's like, are we really gonna get her to send off like this on this note? That's not really adding much. And Benicio del Toro is I love the hell out of Benicio del Toro. He's a fantastic actor. He really has this real sad look to him, all them like that. And I love his acting, but to me, he's like the only character who gets annoyingly stylized. He's like, here's your character, we're gonna put it away for later. It's like, well, actually not like that, but he only gets like 7 or 8 minutes of screen time, and I wanted to see more of him. He was very good in this movie. And another complaint I have with the film is that I felt like that there wasn't much of a stretch for the final battle. Like there was a beginning, there was a middle, and of course there's an end with the final conclusion at the big battle event. And what I didn't like, or what I did like it, but I felt like it was missing. I kind of forgot, like, where's that rise? Where's that moment where we're like, okay, we need to rebel against them. Here's the build up. And it seemed like there's little to know of that. I'm like, that's kind of disappointing. There's little to no build up for the final battle. Therefore, when the final battle came along, I'm just like, oh right, the final battle. Oh, wow. And like, it was talked about briefly before, even though it's all in this film they talk about strategy and tactics and how they're gonna get it out and how we're gonna get in with certain situations. But it's like for the final battle, it's kind of like knowingly satirized. I'm like, oh, come on, I want to see what final battle. I'm gonna say this: the comedy is spot on. Like, I don't think I've laughed this hard since 22 Jump Street. Holy shit, there's some moments where this film just floors you of how hysterical it is. It really is just unbelievably hilarious. And there's some moments where the theater I was in, it was full packed, and the theater was like completely fully packed, and we were bawling our asses off at one scene. There's a lot of great comedic moments too, where not like it's not like a joke, but it's like very comedic, or it's like a really hilarious timing at times too. And there's that one scene with Groot, and near the final battle, and his arm basically goes into this weird, large like wooden type of spear mount, and just goes and like that, and it just pierces like several people, and just smashes side to side like that, and you just see him like kind of like that, and it's holy hell, that really floored me. That really had me laughing on the ground. Okay, they really had me laughing on the ground, but you know what I meant by that. There's moments when this film was absolutely hysterical, and the audience was dying. I was dying. My dad was dying of laughter. We were just hysterically, and along the dialogue is very believable. Even though at times it is like, of course, there's that type of romance in it. Thankfully, the film is like, here's some romance to really get you two involved, and then it's like, and then we'll show you on for later. Just focus on the important stuff. And I'm like, great, that's absolutely great film. There's a few characters who I think I'm like, they're really not important to the story, but they actually surprise you along the way. Like John C. Reilly's character you see in the trailer, he's hilarious. He's very, very funny. It's like, what a bunch of a-holes. In the beginning, if you see in the trailer, or whatever, you know what I mean. And it's so well done. It's very, very funny. He's really, really great with what he gets to. And I guess the final thing I'll say about this film is another thing. It's a slight issue, but I really personally can just look past it. Is that for the effects and the sci-fi view of it, is like there's nothing new here. It's kind of been done before, but it's just a lot more fun and a lot more laid back and a lot more comedic in its own sense. I still buy it and I still get involved with it. And now, of course, I thought it was overall decent of that cohesive note for going throughout the film. And I also thought the villain of Ronan was a bit too one note at first. Like, he's supposed to be this always sad character who was always like this. And but I think the moments when you see him interact with Thanos, it seems a bit too different. And it's like it doesn't really gel up with what the story was before. I mean, it feels like, alright, at certain times it's like the fifth element. I mean, sorry. At certain times the film feels like it's like the fifth element, or it feels like Serenity, or it feels like Star Trek. And that's the moments where it feels very, very Star Wars. It pulls from a lot of different sci-fi films, and it still feels fresh, and it still feels new. But there's a few times where it's like, it sticks out. I was like, when Ronan and Thanos are talking, like there's a moment when you see Ronan talking with Thanos on this big plasma screen thing. I'm just like, Christ, like that really kind of replicates the scene with Darth Vader and the Emperor. I'm like, I understand you're not trying to vent too much, but I'm like, that's a bit of a steal there. I don't know, but some of the differences I can just kind of push aside. And the music in it is absolutely amazing. I love the soundtrack. I'm amazed by this download the album right now on my computer. And I love the way the film was shot. It feels like a comic book at times, and really the effects are also very good too. I really like the effects a lot. Sometimes you're not fully being on to exposure at times, but I do think overall in the directorial type of view of it, James Gunn really directs this film very, very, very well. So overall, I really freaking loved Guardians of the Galaxy. I can say that so easily. I love this film. Ew. I will give, overall, I really, really enjoyed this movie a ton. I will give Guardians of the Galaxy an 83%. There's some moments where it's like, okay, you kind of forget that moment. The effect is kind of often not that much different. Some characters aren't fully explored into, and they're not that interesting. Some of them get too annoyingly stylized. But everything else in the film is just fantastic. I loved it. It's my final rating for the movie. I'll give it an 83%. Sorry, I Did I say that correctly? I really hope you take my word on this film into consideration if you think I've seen this film or not. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Jack Newton, and remember, stay strong, because I'm Star-Lord. Bye.